Hey everybody, it's Ryan. It is a wonderful Saturday here in North Carolina, so I thought that I would go for an inexpensive, easy, removable interior overland build for Saleen. So I've been to Walmart and Tractor Supply and Lowe's. I'm about 250 bucks in maybe, and I'm going to see if I can put together the interior for a platform and some drawer system space and things like that. So here's a couple of snapshot videos of the progress. Alright, so step one was to get everything cleared out of the truck, get a good vacuum in, and this is a $75 platform bed frame system from Walmart. I thought about, as I was asking in one of the forums, how to build, the platform framing and all that, and I can't put metal together, but I can cut metal. So I figured I would at least give this a try, and the neat thing about this bed frame, as you can see here, is that it converts from a twin to a full. So it's 75 inches long and 39 inches wide if it's a twin, and then 75 and 54 if it's a full. And I was trying to figure out from the picture, because you can't really tell, how it gets wider, but what it actually does is it's just two different pieces, which, as you can see, you can just move around and get to be the exact width that you need, which is great. You can also see that it's a little long, so what I'm going to do actually on this side is probably leave it, and then I'm going to end up just taking my grinder and snip here and get part of this out, and then that might do it. Maybe not, but it might. And then these pieces here, these braces, are probably just going to get out of the way of storage underneath. So I think I'm going to get rid of those, and maybe those as well. And then the plan is to put a piece of plywood on top. I'm going to wrap it with some vapor barrier that I happen to have left over so that the plywood is completely waterproof. And then I've got some carpet that should be a perfect fit that I got from Lowe's. And then I've got just a couple of storage boxes and stuff that I'm just going to kind of throw in there and try it out. So this looks like it's a pretty easy project, quote unquote. The other thing I've got to do today is a whole bunch of trim inside my tiny house, but this is way more fun. So I'm in the one shady spot that I have in my yard, thankfully. It's a hot day, but here we go. So I'm going to start cutting and progress along the way. Alright folks, as you can see, I took off both sides, both ends. This was the end piece. So that piece right there, took that off both sides, and we've got a perfect fit. Isn't that nice? So it goes all the way up to the front seat, stops there. All of the 6 legs looks like they're on okay, so this is working so far. Alright, more cutting. Alright, so hour later, folks next door are having their lawn mowed. So this is going well, so I guess I'll just show. Yeah, so what I did is I cut off the ends there in the ground of both ends of the twin bed, full bed frames here, wrapped them in black electrical tape just where I did the hit them with the grinder. So took off those pieces as well, the crossbars that were there. So they're still in the middle, but I think that's going to be okay. And now there's space here, and that's about 14 inches in between these two uprights, so that should work well. And what I did is I basically moved, the bar did go kind of from like here and then up to this other position here, so I moved it over so that now it's straight up and down, as you can see. So it's got all this room. So this is about, it should be about 30 inches by 14 inches through here, and so you can imagine a slide out would go underneath there, pull out drawer. So this is looking pretty good. This is 14 inches tall, So the Rover is not super tall. It gets a little bit more headroom once you get inside, but I think it's going to be fine once you put plywood and carpet is next, and then have a mattress maybe just on the one side as a sleeping area. So what I'm going to work on next is the plywood deck, and we'll be back for that soon. All right, so the deck's in. That took all of 10 minutes. So we've got 3/4 inch plywood on top of the one side. It just needs to be weighed down a little bit and it'll sit flush. But yeah, I just cut off the end. So this ends up being about 66 inches long or so. Took 17 inches off here, made out 2 little cuts. That was it. And there you go. Fits perfectly in the back of a Range Rover Sport. So I'm going to put the other frame back in and put some carpet on it, and I guess we'll see how this goes. Alright gang, so it's been another hour or so on the job, and I think I'm done. So I guess we'll call this a prototype version 1. There's a little bit of refinement to do, but this worked out really well. So I'll show you guys what I got. So here we go. The bed frame, as a reminder, was $75 from Walmart. So that is 2 twin bed frames. I've got a $30 piece of plywood, $70 worth of carpet, both from Lowe's, and actually that's it. There's a little piece of vapor barrier underneath the carpet on the top just to get water. But yeah, that's it. So I tossed in here a couple of boxes that I got. Got 2 of these that came from Tractor Supply today. These were about 15 bucks a piece, and they fit nicely underneath here. And so the neck can go all the way back to about halfway back, and then there's those bars there that'll separate the other side. Got a water jug as well. Looks like that'll fit. That's kind of nice, didn't know that. And then one more box, and so those boxes together about 60 bucks, 50 bucks or so. And then I've got one more that's a little tall, so it doesn't fit. Actually, it's tall enough, but it's a little too wide to go in between there, which is 14 inches. So that one actually might be good to kind of keep out for other things, and then just kind of separate the space. But yeah, carpet's down, works great. I didn't have to cut any of the carpet actually. So you see on these corners, this was just so that the tailgate can come down. But all I did was just staple and then nail in the carpet all around. I didn't cut it at all, so it ended up being about 4 feet wide, and I guess it was 72 inches long, so it folds underneath, and just stapled all that together. So yeah, this thing's in. Looks good. There's, I think, enough headroom to be sleeping. This is just a blow-up mattress I just grabbed out of my camper, and you know, there is about 23 or so inches of clearance in here. May not look like it, but that's what I got. So I think that'll do. It's kind of, you know, a one-person camping situation probably. 2 people could be in here certainly, but you know, that's what I was looking for, was just to be able to do some emergency vehicle camping if needed, if I'm out doing something else. So anyways, yeah, so this project ended up being dollar amount, whatever I said, $60 for the boxes. The other one was 90 together, so that's 90, and then 70 for the thing, and then 75 is 145, 230, so about 250 bucks. So 250 bucks. I've got a platform system that works on its own, and then I think what I'll is start looking into some slide out drawers. So I'd like to be able to get a refrigerator in here somewhere. I think that this space right here is probably the ideal candidate. So I could have the refrigerator on a slider pull out and then come down and then access the fridge. I might be able to put it underneath here if there's enough room. So this is about 14 inches tall and 14 inches wide. So I'm sure I could find something that size, but we'll see what's best. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on next. We'll keep this side open as the sleeping area. And then a couple of other things I'm going to work on for the truck would be putting solar panel on the front, actually, is kind of what I want to do on the hood. connect that into the battery to make sure that's all charged up for the refrigerator. So I don't know how to do that stuff. I'll have to find out, but it's on the list, so that'll be for next time. So anyways, here's a $250 budget-friendly, works very well, completely temporary platform system. I did not take out my back seats. I thought about it, but it looks pretty complicated, and to be perfectly honest, they fold down so completely flat that there was just not a lot of extra space that I would have earned, I suppose, by doing that. So you can see I've got this 14 inches all the way through here, and with the way that the seat is, I probably would have gotten about another 7 inches by, I don't know, whatever that is, 24 by 20. So I don't know, a little bit of space, but probably not worth it. So this is the little trim work that I'm gonna clean up later on, and I think it's all set. So it's a good project for the day. Took about 5 hours including shopping, and I'm happy. So all right, next time.